was billed as the ultimate sports podcast.
I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
Everybody has been waiting.
I'm God gifted.
He's a fool. I'm the matador.
This is the Weekend Guide Podcast, and it begins now.
We have the last incoming tour happening next year in South Africa. Ireland is coming for a 3-match tour, you know. What are your thoughts?
They've got a young team. You know? They've got a young team without Johnny Wilkinson. You're Johnny Sexton.
Yeah.
Without Johnny Sexton, it's going to be a different Ireland. Because he's like the
polarizing figure.
Yeah, they're like the North Pole, basically.
Yeah.
So without him, should be a walkover for the Boks.
Okay. Yeah. Early prediction. What are you calling it?
It's an easy 2-0 or 3-0.
3-0?
Especially if you play them at altitude. But it could be a 2-1 because the very same players who never travel down. So in Leinster, they don't bring the A team to here, South Africa. So, but Ireland, we have to bring the A team here. So that's going to be the reason. Because if you've never played at Loftus at altitude or at Emirates Airline Park, you're going to be screwed. Altitude counts. So if Leinster keeps doing this nonsense they're doing after bringing the A team down or mixing it up a bit, bringing the B team to tour the entire South Africa, meaning they play the Stormers, Sharks, and Bulls, and then they get messed up, six record scores. Sorry, excuse me. Because they've brought a young team.
Yeah.
By the time Ireland needs to come down, it's going to be a whole new different story. Because, as we've said, and we are the unqualified rugby experts, guys.
Yeah.
But if you guys have been following us for the past year or so, I don't know how long has it been?
Yeah, we're approaching
more or less a year. You should know that we know what we're talking about. And I'm telling you right now, if Leinster keeps doing the nonsense they're doing and not getting those players to come and get the
experience
test, they're going to get wiped out 3-0. Easy.
Okay. Early predictions.
That's 3-0.
And look, we still off the high of being Bok champions. Yeah. So I'm gonna back you, my man.
Yeah, it's an easy.
I'm gonna back you.
The nice thing about being back-to-back champions is that as a person, especially me as a business person, for example, as a business person, you have a formula in your mind.
Indeed.
You know, of how I'm going to make it, how I'm going to make money, for example. So it's in my mind. It goes from my mind to being practical. I apply it practically to my employees or whatever. Then when that formula works, I know that I've got a formula in place.
Stick to it.
Stick to the formula, don't change it. So now, Urasi and Uninaba, the formula has been proven twice.
True.
And remember, they said 2019 was a fluke for them. Their main one was 2023.
That's what they were building the squad
for 2023. And imagine now, that comes through as well. They make it, regardless of 1 point game, we played the top 6 teams to get there anyway. But those guys' formula and belief in their own systems has gotten them to 2 World Cups. So any upcoming young player going to the Springboks, what those guys will be God. It's like walking into like seeing Urasi and him coaching you. It's like you're looking at a God, basically. Do you understand? Because he's had a plan. The plan worked once. The plan worked twice. The plan can even work 3 times.
True, but also they then are you then saying whoever the next Springbok coach really doesn't matter because the system is already in place?
Yes, as long as Urasi is there as director of rugby,
things.
We're done. It's fine. Whoever comes in doesn't matter.
Okay.
As long as the director of rugby is still there, implementing what has
same
worked.
principles.
That's what I'm saying. Obviously, the rest of the world will want to catch up, obviously.
Indeed.
But you can't tell me they failed to recognize it in 2019.
Yeah.
And then they didn't catch up in 2023. That you need 2 teams to win the World Cup.
Yes.
You need
squad
2 types of players, yes, who can interchange into the system without the system dipping.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So the rest of the world didn't look into the strategy. They went to the first team, and you saw with the All Blacks when the bench came on, they were nowhere.
Yeah,
They were nowhere at a
didn't make-
stage where they could overturn the game to say, okay, my bench can do a bomb squad kind of impact. They were never in a position to do that.
True, but then are we saying that Ireland next year won't be planning to put that into place?
Well, Andy
Because
Farrell-
you mentioned that they've got a young team, right?
Young team.
They probably have licked their wounds, and they're probably now going to re-look at their mistakes and re-strategize and saying, look, the next 4-year cycle, how can we make sure that we go one step further than 2023?
Remember I said to you that, you need to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
I said that to you. That's it. You, as a coach, as a person, kudos must be given where kudos are due.
Indeed.
And I'm going to go back to the Jean Klein situation. Do you understand? Orasi gave Jean Klein kudos where kudos are due. United Rugby Championship winning lock. Marvin Orr, United Rugby Championship winning lock
Yes.
in the World Cup squad.
Yeah.
Ne? They gave respect where respect is due to a player to say, guy,
Our players.
we are looking at you, what you've seen, what you've done, what you've achieved.
Yes.
This means if you can achieve this level, you can help us achieve the next level as well.
Indeed.
You are that type of player. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ireland failed to do that, game boy.
But they've got now 4 years to plan. They were successful in their outgoing tour to New Zealand.
Yes.
Don't you think then they have the same expectations? If you're Irish right now and you say, look, we went down to New Zealand and we beat New Zealand in their backyard, isn't then the mission the same coming to SA?
That will never count, because as long as you don't build a team deep enough to counter what is currently on the table. World Rugby at the moment is at 7-1 split. It's on a 7-1 split. That's where the level is at the moment. The capability of playing the 7-1 split.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So the game has moved, regardless whether you want to acknowledge it or not. 7-1 split was never heard of. But before that, there was 6-2 split.
Yeah.
Never heard of before. And
Push the boundaries.
6-2 split, world champions. 7-1 split, world champions. So, meaning that in any coaching career,
Yeah.
if you don't move with the times,
You'll be left behind.
you'll be left behind. So if you want to still play your best players, playing every group game, beating every team 82-0, ne? Come to when it matters, quarterfinal, you falter, which means you're not paying attention to what's going on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So would it be blind comfort to say we are on these winning runs and winning matters over everything?
You can win as many matches as you want, bro. You can beat everyone like they did.
Yes.
17 wins unbeaten. Ne?
But if you don't do it at the right time, it doesn't matter.
Yes. What New Zealand got right to get to the Rugby World Cup final, they were fortunate. They
Yes.
had injuries. Ne? So when those players came back from
were still
the
fresh.
injury, they were fresher. So they picked at the right time.
Yeah.
But what was evident in the final is that those players were tired. By the time it got to the final, they were not. New Zealand was not cutting edge. It was not the All Blacks we know. They were not
Yes.
cutting edge. They were not at the pace where we normally know they start the match. They never had a powerful 20 minutes. They had nothing on the powerful 20 minutes.
But
And
as
another thing-
weekend guys, we predicted that though.
Yeah, we
predicted
did. We did. Yeah.
For South Africa to stand a chance or to win the World Cup final, the most important part was the first 20.
Yeah, the first 20, and they were nowhere.
Yeah.
We were 6 points ahead in the first 20 minutes, or
Yes.
9 points ahead. Ne? We were playing our game. They were nowhere. Like zero, they were nowhere. And another thing which is impacting Southern Hemisphere All Black Rugby,
Yeah.
which they're not realizing, is the officiating.
Ooh.
You see, so think of it this way. Ne?
Yeah.
New Zealand have got their own way how they want to see the game played.
Okay.
played to their own strength, meaning that they want fast-moving game, ball in play time, they want more than 40 minutes.
Yeah.
All those things, they want a fast game, like, because they've got what we call what's that game? The other one with the backline only. Rugby Union.
Yes,
Rugby
League.
Yeah. So they think that the Union can be as fast as Rugby League, and, ball in play, whatever, blah, 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 blah. The problem with that.
So sorry, just to interject, right? A friend of mine went to New Zealand actually to visit family, and he got the opportunity to watch the All Blacks. Yeah, no, the All Blacks play, right?
Okay.
And his mate is a local that side.
Yeah.
And I don't recall which game it was, but New Zealand was trailing, and the crowd was very calm and assured, right? And he said something interesting to me. He was like, the guy kept on saying, we're going to win this game because we just need to play footy. And he's like, what do you mean you need to play footy, right? And the guy explained that, look, in New Zealand, their pastime, whether it's at a braai, a pool party, or just hanging, is playing in the backyard and swinging the ball. So when you say they want that fast rugby, right? It is part of their culture to say, hey, let's share this ball. We don't want to run over you like the South Africans do.
Yeah, South Africans, yes.
And when officials play to those strengths, they play to something that is their culture and that they know, which comes natural to them, because it made sense to me where I was like, listen, why are New Zealand forwards so good with
ball in hand?
With ball in hand, It didn't make sense to me because I was like, where do they have the time to practice it and everything? Because it came so natural to be like, I don't think that they practice this. This comes natural to them.
Okay. So now, what they failed to do and failed to recognize is that the globe, Earth, has got two hemispheres.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's your southern hemisphere way, which they do the rugby, blah, blah, blah. There's the northern hemisphere rugby.
Super Rugby, Rugby Championship.
So we have recognized from playing, remember when the URC started?
Yes.
How many tackles our teams were making had red cards and so on and so on. And
yes, we were getting punished by the officials.
Punished like crazy because we had this whole southern hemisphere between the head kind of thing, which is fine. So what happened to Sam Kane? His tackle technique was wrong.
Yeah.
But in New Zealand, that would have been a yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, and that would have been it.
Yeah.
A yellow card.
And we keep it moving.
Yeah.
Or the old Super Rugby, if we could call it that.
But for us, playing in the Northern Hemisphere, we know as soon as your shoulder hits someone's head, there's no review. It's a red card.
Yeah.
Standard. That's what we know.
learned the hard way.
We learned the hard way. Yeah, we learned the hard way from 2 seasons of URS, especially the first season. It was a fuck up. Like many red cards, yes.
Yeah.
But we learned that our players learned from playing those guys. Okay, no, if you go for the head, it's a red card. It's not even reviewed. It's a clear red. We know that. So that's why you find that now our players, the Springboks, not even a single guy will go in for that type of tackle. It's very rare for us to even get a red card these days.
True. So, because, when I was dissecting that game, I was like, thank God for the Springboks experience because emotionally they were in check. Right? New Zealand took way longer to settle emotionally.
Yes.
Even though they wanted to play a certain way, but emotionally the game got very big to a few players. And for me, it was the case of Bongi going down first 2 minutes and New Zealand getting a yellow card. And for me, the emotional intelligence and maturity there was very important because South Africa loses a critical player, right? If you don't have that emotional maturity, it goes downhill from there. Right? New Zealand, the occasion got too big to a few players and they wanted to do too much too soon, right? Which then speaks to that first 20 minutes that we had predicted that they wanted to start fast and then they were just going to go all out. But for me, those mistakes and the difference in approach in terms of maturity set the tone for the game. And for me, if I'm a New Zealander, I'm not blaming Sam Kane on them losing the final. It is already set in stone. No. Let me rephrase it. The emotional tone was set by the first 2-minute yellow card, right? Uguti, guys, this is a big emotion. I mean, a big moment, and I'm being emotional about it.
Yes.
Right. So the catalyst to Sam Kane's red card was in that moment, because now I need to match the Springboks pound for pound in aggression.
The New Zealand players, if they adapt to the way the rugby is officiated in the Northern Hemisphere, they would have known emotionally that as soon as Sam Kane hit that guy on his face, it's a red card. So they know. We know.
Yeah.
Like, we are fine. We know that, okay, he's gone.
He's gone.
Like, it's not even a debate. He's gone. Yeah, well, he messed up, he's gone. It's a red card. And we can and then our players can adapt to playing the 14-man game.
Yes.
Because emotionally and mentally, it's like normal to us to know it. So there is no gap now in between. The only people with a gap. And this always happens when I watch the Super Rugby games. I'm like, as much as you guys want to speed up the game, but the level of officiating down under is not at the level we are used to at the moment.
Indeed.
And our eyes have been opened by participating in the Northern Hemisphere.
And to latch on to that, right?
Yeah.
Previous game, Eben got a yellow card. South Africa continued like there were 15 men.
Yeah, like 15 men or adapt.
Yeah. In the final, we had 2 yellow cards. What we spent about 17 minutes, 14 men?
Yeah, Cheslin and
Sia. Yeah, right? And as you're saying, that experience of URC, knowing that you are going to play with a man down and how to manage the game.
Manage that, yeah.
Played a critical part in our success.
European experience, the Heineken Cup.
Yep.
The URC.
Yep.
That actually won us the World Cup.
Indeed. But I'll even take it further, bro, right? Shout out to the administration, right? When Rassie came back, who opened the doors for us recalling Springboks based in Europe. One.
Yeah.
That laid the foundation.
And the Japanese ones.
Yes. That laid the foundation to say, hey, let us take South African rugby in a different direction, right? And the administrators realizing that, look, we are not going to fight Sansa to stay in Super Rugby.
Yeah.
Let us go north.
Yeah, let's go north.
Right? And those decisions have paid
Dividends.
tenfold. Yeah, proper.
They've given us the World Cup.
2 World Cups.
2 World Cups.
2 World Cups. Yeah, you know? And for me, like you say, we always think Bo, Rassie, and Jacques Nineba are geniuses, but that whole machine is pulling in one direction.
Yeah, it's pulling in one direction.
Yeah, and the decisions made up top have led us in the right direction.
And what I think would be shocking to the Sansa, us going back to back and matching the All Blacks in every historical record in terms of going back to back, is that the decision they took to take us out of the Super Rugby has negatively impacted them more than us.
Indeed.
Us, like even me as a fan, I can watch my URC games at a normal 5 o'clock kickoff. It's like nice. It's like proper. It's nice.
Man.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a normal Sunday.
It's a normal Sunday.
Or a Saturday vibe.
This philosophy which is being implemented by the Springboks, any coach in world rugby should be not following it, but keeping an eye on it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So what does that mean? Oh, okay, I go back. Leinster, Munster, I need you guys to build me 5 forwards. 5, what's this thing called? 5 scrummages.
Yeah.
Like Orasi did most. They came back and got to Ox immediately. Yes. Like literally immediately. I think it was not in the British Islands. Was it there? Ox?
Yeah.
Load trading was there. Yeah. So what they did, they came back, they brought in Jasper Wisse, they brought in Ox and Chair in the tight 5.
Yeah.
Or tight 8, whatever. Then they said, okay, cool. I'm not gonna then they waited. So let's see what happens in the URC.
Yes.
Because I know they've got Damien Williams at Stormers. Oh, okay. John Furry has an amazing season.
Yeah.
They rope him in instantly.
Exactly.
Springbok.
And it's not even looking at the age. It's
Yeah,
like,
no,
this
it's
man
like,
is
no,
performing.
You performed in the URC. They literally rewarding players who excelled in the URC level. Your ESCOMs came back from UK, played for the Bulls, excelled there. Although we didn't see him because we were flat as Bulls. So Jean Clean wins the URC title. Who are here didn't play the entire season, but as soon as he won the URC title, he's like, no, we're not gonna waste time. Come back.
Do you
understand? They recognized and rewarded great players. Manili Pok, come in to the Springbok, be a 10.
He was an outstanding fly-off at the URC.
Yeah, it was even first season, even second season was a good.
And just on the money labor, right?
Yeah.
Probably other management would have overlooked him and said he doesn't play the style of rugby.
We want blah blah blah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So as much as he's good at URC level, this
he's not
is
good enough for
international.
Springbok level. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. If they were stupid.
Yes,
Nah.
yes.
Another one, Grant Williams. First season in URC is a cock season, no way. Second season in URC is beasting.
Exactly.
Springbok.
You know, and unfortunately enough for the Sharks, Grant Williams and Jaden, one team.
There. Yeah.
And both of them are beasting. And instead of saying, we have to choose one, they go against the grain and say, hey,
let's choose
bring
4.
both.
Let's choose 4. Take both of them. So you reward players who are exceptional.
Yes.
You make them Springboks. You don't close the door like Ireland. What they did is they closed the door on the other players now. The second team.
Yes.
They didn't give the second team. They didn't trust the second team
As
to
much.
play a tongue in the group stages or to play a useless game like a Romania.
Yes. And that is where they...
That's what the mistake they made.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the mistake.
You're 100% right.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Your second team running over Tonga or even winning by 7 doesn't matter. But they've got valuable minutes and your
And the
first
personnel
team
now, the
can
guys are
rest
getting
and
confidence
chill.
now. But if you're going to play the first team throughout the 5 in groups or whatever group games, and then the guy, the second team, doesn't even get a start. Come on. You're not building anything.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
But also, right, I think to get to that point in playing 2 teams in a World Cup, it took the patience over the 4 years.
Yes, but what they did is, and they did not play around with this thing. They built the second team by players who had proven themselves in the URC.
Yes.
You see what I'm
So
saying?
it's quality players
Players coming through. Your John Fourie, for example, slots in at hooker, and we were like all shocked. What the hell? This guy can play hooker.
Yeah.
And Escom as well can play hooker. And since when?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's them building and putting them in the deep end to say, okay, Escom, go play hooker.
Yeah.
So regardless if you're unsure, but you're being told to go play hooker at a World Cup. So regardless of you thought you were unsure of yourself, you in the World Cup, you played hooker. By the time you pass that match, aren't you an experienced World Cup playing hooker? You are. You go back to your club. The club coach can play you hooker because he knows you've done it at the World Cup now.
In the biggest stage.
You know what I'm saying? So this is where the difference comes in, because the other teams, they've got their first team, which they die hard for, and then New Zealand got youngsters on the bench, whom in the World Cup final, a youngster comes in. Yes, they're blooding for the future, but you're not going to win the World Cup like that.
Wrong time to blood.
Yeah, you'll never win a World Cup like that.
But also, right, what I want to put through to you and get your opinion, right, is given the fact that SA Rugby's now been exposed to URC now, and we got it sticking to our blueprint, right? And we've gone back to back with a specific blueprint, regardless of the personnel. As New Zealand and Australia, how do you then catch
Evolve
up?
your blueprint.
Yeah,
It's
because
easy for them.
sorry to interject, right? Because the current generation of New Zealand and Australian players, right, have 10 years plus experience playing in South Africa, playing the all format Super Rugby, right?
Yeah.
So they've managed to get their games and skills and talent tested at the highest level over a period of time. This next generation that you're talking about
It has nothing.
only meets South Africa twice a year, for example.
Yeah.
Only meets Argentina
Once a year.
Yeah, once a year.
Once a year.
So how are you then gonna blood that next generation?
It's gonna be okay. I hear
Consistently challenge.
I see where you're going there.
Yeah, in world rugby.
What happened is the decision they took as Sansa. And I said, I think in when I first started the podcast with the price, 2021 or 2020, I said, New Zealand, I'm giving them 5 years. Ne?
Damn.
That their rugby is going to decline so much that in 5 years, they won't be as force as they are at the current moment. I think we're in year 3 now, if not year 4, of my prediction. That them cutting 2020, so 2020, 21, 23, only in 3 years. There's 2 more years to go.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at, because they've got that policy, most by an overseas player cannot play. Yeah. That policy. With the Springboks
Springboks
leaving,
used to have, basically.
yes, which was stupid, by the way. With the Springboks leaving the Sansa competitions, club competitions, going into Europe, what do they have? Because now they're going to lose 8 players, I think, from the final, going to overseas clubs, Japan clubs.
Yes.
But
They have to look after their families.
yes. And then Umuwonga is still a starting 10 in New Zealand, in all of New Zealand. He's still in peak form. He's not that old.
Yeah.
Can give you
He's
many
got
years.
another World Cup.
Got another World Cup within him. Okay, Aaron Smith has played too many World Cups. Boden Barrett-Spell played too many World Cups.
Because I was looking just from that backline, probably Ioane, Will Jordan, Richie.
No,
Until
the younger Barrett, the one who missed, he's still
Bowden-
Jody.
Jody.
So you still have Jody in the next World Cup.
Yeah.
Utalaya is.
Yeah,
But there's another kid. Yeah.
So
he's
got
the
another
peak
World
form.
Cup.
So remember a World Cup team at third, they're still in peak form. Yeah. So these are the things which have been counted. But the problem with them is that when those guys hit the peak form, what opposition have they been facing for the past 4 years?
Exactly. It's gonna be Australia and Fiji.
Yeah, it's gonna be their nonsense they're doing there. So this is what it comes down to. And hence my 5-year prediction that once they took the decision in 2020, I said by the time 2025 hits, there won't be a force to be reckoned with. And the decline started when Ireland beat them at home. That was already started the decline. Yeah.
The signs are telling.
Now with the future coming in, your question was, how does the coach integrate them to be at world-class level?
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, first thing they need to do is to open the policy of All Blacks overseas.
Yes. To say, look, you guys are eligible.
Yes, you can come play. You can go play overseas and then come play for the All Blacks. But if you keep, and then they say want to preserve, the reason their doors are closed, they still want to preserve their rugby for the upcoming. But if your upcoming generation is not facing the best in the world on a week-to-week basis, how are they going to develop?
They'll never.
How are they going to develop? Because us, we're facing the best of the best. When it comes to semi-final Europe, it's the best of Europe. We're facing France, England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland.
Week in, week out.
Week in, week out. I mean, especially in the Investec Champions Cup.
Italy also just for ambience.
Yes. So if you're not giving your players the time to be at the level of facing the best teams week in, week out, how are they going to... Hey, this car. So I was driving a fucking loud car.
Let's go.
And maybe it's my neighbor. I don't know. So if you're not facing the best of the best on a weekly basis, how are they going to develop? How long are they going to play?
More questions.
Fiji and so on. And then, obvious, they'll never be at the level they need to be because, we're integrating our stars from... It's been proven, guys, that a player playing overseas can win the World Cup 2 times in a row.
Twice
in a row. So what more do you want to be keep on closing doors and so on and so on? So these players need money. They've got families to feed.
Indeed.
But if
and
you don't give
life
them,
is expensive.
Yeah, you need to let them... I mean, like for us,
let them earn.
Peter Steph Detroit is making millions in Japan. Malcolm Mark is making millions in Japan and is still performing for the Springboks. What more do you want? He's happy. Everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy.
But now if you let Richie Mo'onga leave without the chance of coming back and say, okay, Richie, go make money for my family, but we still want you to come play for the All Blacks. you're going to get a way better player than you would get him being frustrated at home.
True, because, and just to stick to that point, right? When I look at this policy, on average, how many tests a year do players play? 6, 7?
Yeah, not more than. It's the year-end tour, which is like 3
yeah.
3 in the rugby championships, 3, 6, 9.
Okay, so literally, you need this guy for a period of, I'm just going to round it off and say 12 to maximum 15 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
Right? And you need him to be at his best for that period.
And he's the best in your country.
Indeed.
Proven.
And for me, it's a sacrifice you can make where you say, look, outside of that 15 weeks, go make the money you need to make.
Yeah, and then come back.
Come back and then beast with us.
Because remember, that guy is the only one who's going to be able to input his experience to the upcoming generation.
Yes, to say,
then
hey, I saw what is out there.
Yes, you've got
I've
leeway
played
now.
And I've played there.
You've got leeway now to say, okay, the next best flyer up in New Zealand is learning from Rechumo Wonga, who's super rich. I'm happy for days. And his bank account is loaded for life.
But
he's a happy person.
But the counter argument to that is, how do you learn from someone who's not here?
They'll be there only for the All Blacks. Don't need them for the club.
Yeah, but someone's like, hey, you need to see how this guy prepares, how he is off the field. We want him to be part of the community. We don't want to lose that connection with the fans.
That's bullshit.
Hey, I better be the antagonist.
If it's poor, how is it going to be happy? Because the only decision...
These guys are not poor though. Even if they stay.
They're not poor in New Zealand terms, but in world terms, they're poor. They're not rich. They're not rich to that level, but to surpass like they're not making Ronaldo money. Yeah, well, in Japan, at least they've got a chance to make
good money.
Good money.
Good money.
It's still not Saudi money, but it's good money.
No, that Cheslin Colby money.
Yeah, it's like $1 million or something like that. So that's 80 million rand a year.
It makes a diff.
Yeah. But imagine the game will evolve that these guys are going to start getting more money because now you imagine this crop of World Cup players. France is losing them to Japan, best players.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to France, okay, here's a $2 million contract. I want to pay $2 million. That's 36 million rand to a Cheston Colby. So it's going to be competition. Yeah. And competition drives up prices. So that's the difference between the world game and our game or anyone's game. The game is only going to get more expensive.
True.
Meaning that the best players will want to get paid the best money.
Yes.
And if an England is willing to give that best player $3 million, for example,
let them go. Let them go to England. Yeah.
Because
but
remember,
not at the cost of the national team.
Yes, national team will always get. That's what I always say about people who run companies. Your employee is your employee for you to get the best out of that person.
Yeah.
Without any conditions. You understand? Me as a rugby, I want to get the best out of a Faf de Klerk. Yeah. But to Faf de Klerk, I can only get the best out of Faf de Klerk if he's happy now here on the other side. So that means letting him go. You need to let him go.
So that he comes back and adds value.
Adds value. The formula has been proven. The Springboks who've left South Africa to go play in Japan are still the first team even today.
Or in Europe, yeah.
The overseas Springboks are the first team Springboks. Because they're still first team.
Talent is not limited by boundaries.
Yes. Or location.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No, that's true. That's true.
They need to make a decision that the talent they're letting go.
Yeah.
Is it really, really, really worth it to let them go for out of because what do they have? If Umawonga goes at 10, who covers him? Some unknown new guy.
Yeah, because I think in some games they played Damien McKenzie, but he wasn't as hot as Richie.
Not a Richie Mwonga. He's not a Mwonga.
You can tell that there's a difference in class.
There's levels.
And now the question will be, if Richie goes down, can Damien be as good as Richie? Because when we look back at, for example, New Zealand fly-offs, Bowden Barrett took over from Dan Carter as the mainstay fly-off, and Richie came onto the scene, and took over, and that transition was seamless.
Yeah.
Because the quality throughout the team was quite good. Interesting observation, as we say,
yes, of
in
course.
the next 3 years.
3 years. No,
The next
two more
batch.
years. 2 more years.
Oh,
2 more
in
years.
in the next 2 years.
I did it from 2020 when they kicked us off
To
out of
2025.
Super Rugby 2025.
Yeah.
And one thing you always know, and this will always remain true.
Yes.
So we've got our plans for the next. Remember Urasi, and there's the next transition. Obviously, whoever comes in, they can be the coach. It doesn't matter.
True.
Or one of the guys. Just a bump in salary.
Yeah.
But the plan is to. I feel like the plan is to obviously with some players who are not going to be at the next World Cup.
Yeah, obviously.
So Udwayne won't be there.
Listen, I'm glad that you're mentioning this because okay, let's just go through the starting 15, right?
Yeah.
Kishoff, do you think it'll be a step too far?
No, next World Cup.
Bongi?
No.
Mahalbra?
No.
So those three, we see them in Australia.
I don't. They're not going to make it.
Oh, are we saying step too far?
Yeah, because remember,
Okay.
we passed the peak age. Now they're in the 30s. Bong is like 30 something. Bonga, they're in the 30s. So it's impossible for them to be at peak form at 34, 35. Doesn't make sense.
Okay. No, that's fine. We've got Franco and Eben.
I don't know how old is Eben, but Eben is like 31. Eh?
Yeah, I think he's 31. Him and Sia.
So anyone who's like above 31 won't be at the next World Cup.
After seeing what Dion Ferry had done and seeing what Dwayne had done.
You'll never win a World Cup with 35-year-olds.
No,
impossible.
No. What I'm saying is we have to make room for at least a couple because Dwayne at 37, right? Because he's the second oldest after Dion.
Yeah.
Right? Next World Cup, if someone is 35 or 36.
They're not World Cup. One person can be there. Because remember, the average age to win a World Cup is 31. There must be 31. The average age.
Okay. Let's go through. So we're saying, okay, I will reserve Franco spot. Eben.
Yeah, maybe Franco. I don't know how old he is, but I'm not sure. Maybe Franco, but Eben won't be there.
Okay, so Eben, so 4 out of the tight 5 out, right?
Yeah, they're out, yeah.
Okay, loose forwards, right? We've got Sia, Peter Steph.
Who was above 31 at this World Cup? 31, 30. They're not going to make the next World Cup.
Damn.
So that's literally half the team. Because our average age was 29, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so if half the team won't be there by Australia, right?
Yeah.
When does the integration phase start?
With them, Morasi, they don't play around. They integrate quickly. So find a Jesper will be there. I don't know how old he is, but Jesper will be there. So will be the main guy. Then Even Rose comes in. Your Joseph Drivers are coming in. Your Avlachlo comes in. Your Hendrik Nokia comes in.
The Dupree twins?
Yep, they come in. Yeah, those youngsters start coming into the team. Because now when what they do...
Would you say from 2024 the boys must be involved?
Of course, for the future. That's Australia now.
Yeah.
Every youngster who's won the jersey already. That's why they gave them the jersey. Especially the other Dupree twin.
Yes.
Or as they favor their players, like when they see something, they don't play around. Dupree coming in. Everyone was way below 30, so you still have them. So we might not even have a Chaslin there. We don't know, but I don't know. He's 29, got a Chaslin.
Yeah. No, he turned
Pollard
30,
might be there.
He turned 30 on the final.
Pollard might be there because Pollard will be Mapimpi's age, 33. So Pollard will be there because he's below the 31 cut-off limit.
Cut-off.
Yeah.
Okay, because Libock's 26.
So he's there. Damien Willems is there. Majavan is not there. Villero is not there. Dialende is not there. Esteisen is there.
Yes.
Jesse Krill is not there, but look on your arm is there. Yeah, because it's still 29.
Okay. So there will be a lot of familiar faces, but obviously within the next 2 years,
there'll be beasts coming up. There'll be beasts being
and
blooded.
guys who are just bubbling under, right? Okay. So now I want us to
focus. So now it's the next crop now.
Yes. Speaking, but before we focus too much on the next crop, tell me about Saturday. How you are feeling and how you viewed
the game.
Yeah.
To be honest, for me, it was all about the first 20 minutes.
Is it?
Yeah. Because I knew New Zealand cannot counter the bomb squad. So for me, it was all about the first 20 minutes.
Okay.
And they failed in the first 20 minutes. They didn't do nothing. We were in the lead. I think for the first time ever in the last 10 years, we were leading for the first 20 minutes against the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Except for the Twickenham game.
Besides the Twickenham game.
Yeah, but Twickenham game, we were defending.
Yeah, but also they got a red card early also.
Yeah. They got a yellow and then it was a competition to red. But as soon as we were able to hold them for the 20 minutes, I knew that Uras, everybody knew, I knew he could afford to bring in the bomb squad freely now. It's not a desperation move. That's what I'm saying. And I felt that even if we need to lift up the intensity, like lift another gear, we could have lifted another gear. We were not at full gear there.
True.
If you compare that game to the Ireland game,
the red card played a significant role in us.
Of course, in us relaxing, not going to the fifth gear. Because if you look at the Ireland game, look at that game. Yeah. There's a big difference there. We're not stepping up. The Ireland game, even though we were playing to lose, but we were stepping up to a level of saying, okay, Ireland, you're going to win, but you're not going to win that much.
True.
In the All Black game, we didn't need to go deep.
Yeah.
We didn't need to because we could contain them.
Did you have any score predictions before we...
It was 3 points. I said
it's
going to be a tight game, 3 points, but the 1 point was a shock.
Yeah, no, but also funny story. On Saturday, I was away and a friend of mine asked me, so what are your predictions for the game? Yeah. I was like, you're going to win by 1 point.
Really?
And I just kept it moving.
Yeah.
Right? And I laughed after we won by 1 point.
Yeah,
and I was
1
like,
point was shocking though, to be honest.
Right? But for me, I had also... sport happens in patterns.
Yeah.
When you win, you win. There are some teams in the history of certain sports where these guys just know how to step up in big moments, right? And I was like, we are rugby's version of Australia in cricket. You can write them off, but these guys come tournaments, Australia just wins at Cricket World Cups.
Yeah, like now what's going on because they
it doesn't matter, but these guys will always be in the conversation, right? And I had that same quiet confidence where I was like, do you know what? One thing South Africa rugby does very well is win finals.
Yeah.
No,
they were undisputed.
Exactly. So I was like, if they knock us out before the final,
then we've lost the World Cup.
Yeah, we've lost the World Cup. If we get to the final, there's just something within our DNA.
There's a problem.
There's something within our DNA that, hey, these guys in a final, hey. Never underestimate.
A win. Remember we said so last week on the podcast, guys. If you guys didn't catch us on last week's podcast, here on the channel, guys, just scroll back. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share, give us a comment down below. But what we said last week is that even if we win by half a point, if it was possible, as long as it's just win the World Cup.
Exactly.
So for these guys to actually do it and come back with it by 1 point, 3 games, playing one of the top 6 nations, beating them by 1 point.
Never been done before.
So it's an achievement. Just that on its own is an achievement. Just to beat every single top 6 nation by 1 point.
Are we the greatest rugby team in the history of World Cups?
Nah, I feel like we're
2023.
We are on par with New Zealand.
This 2023 group, not the greatest rugby World Cup team
ever. Because you can't say that because look, Urichimako and his 2011-15 have done the same thing. So we're on par. We're just on par. For me, we're just on par. Not the greatest team to ever.
But to achieve back to back, if we compare their routes and ours,
it's the toughest route.
And
but regardless, at the end of the day, the history books reflect that we are on par.
Back to back.
Yeah, we've got back to back. They were the first to do it.
Yeah, I still rate our achievement is more impressive than this.
Maybe it's gonna take a little bit more time to settle in and actually. So it's gonna take a little bit of time for us to settle into how we did it.
Yeah.
Compared to how they did it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because they had a home World Cup 2011. The next one was Australia, isn't it?
England.
England World Cup, and then they were playing Australia. Weak opposition.
Exactly.
Australia was already weak back then. So sensational, yes,
Still
but
weak.
but the GOAT debate, it just takes time.
Okay.
Let's let it sink in. Who knows? Maybe we can go. We can do a Zidane and go
3
hat-trick.
times.
Hat-trick. I mean, that's possible.
Yo,
Remember,
guys,
impossible is nothing.
bookmark this episode.
Yeah, imagine we can do a Madrid.
Three-peat. You heard it here on the Weekend Guy podcast.
If we do three-peat, we will be the greatest rugby nation to ever step foot on this earth.
Yeah, no, right now the argument is in our favor because we're 4 times champions. You know? But
we're the first to 4.
Yes.
But to become the first to 5, that means now, as a nation, because remember, in order for you to get to 5 World Cups, the recycling of the players must be in another level as well.
True.
Yeah,
Probably because right now we can call this our golden generation.
It's our okay.
It's our golden generation because the first South African Springbok teams to go back to back.
But I would put it like this: this as South Africans now, just in our borders, and having rated our past World Cup winning teams.
Yes,
these guys, this crop of guys, are they? I'm limiting to us for a reason. I don't want to go to a greatest of all time debate with the rest of Twitter or something like that. These guys are the greatest generation we have produced in SA Rugby.
That's why I'm calling them the golden generation.
Because the nice thing about these guys, they are ahead of the rest.
Yeah.
But who would you rate between the 1995 crop and the 2007 crop? So I feel for me, those guys are on the same level. They are par. But these guys have gone. So they went par with them.
Yes.
1 World Cup.
These
but
guys
to go
have gone beyond.
To be great now. To go beyond.
Indeed.
One. And remember, you're going beyond with the same players. There's no difference. No one has changed. It doesn't change that much. It's literally the same team.
Yeah.
Which we've never been able to do in our entire history. 1995 crop, we lost them by 1999.
Yeah.
2007 crop, by 2011, they were gone.
Yeah, because I think I saw an interesting stat. Guti, 23 out of the 33 were there in 2019.
Yeah.
So it's continuation.
Yeah. Who was new in the lineup for because front row?
Kurt Lee Aronso was
the new one. Who else? Jesse Creel was injured.
Yeah, but we can't call him new. But he was there. Yeah, it was Kurt Lee. Everyone else was there.
Repeat champions.
True. Yeah. Because also then just back to the final. For those that don't know, South Africa won and are world champions. At halftime, what were your feelings?
I was very confident. Remember, for me, the game was over 20 minutes.
And you're like, we've got this.
Yeah. No, as soon as I can even ask my wife and my sister-in-law. As soon as the clock went past 20 minutes, it was done for me. World Cup over. I was cool.
Talk about
20
belief.
Minutes with 20 minutes with no shenanigans.
Yeah.
And us containing Shannon Frizzell like that, there was no way.
Yeah, no.
There's no way.
There's no one who's speaking about Frizzell.
There's non-existent. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's World Cup for me. Next 20 minutes, just now, guys, you just need to maintain. I mean, win first half 12-3. And then they were given, that was not a try. That was a loss forward, the try in New Zealand. That was not a try. But they were given that. And I felt like, okay, so within 1 point, Jody missed that kick.
Yeah.
But I felt like entire game, even if Jody had scored that kick.
Also, wait, they missed a conversion and a penalty.
Yeah.
They left 5 points on the board.
Yeah. And then I feel like if Jody had converted that would mean to the Springboks, guys, step it up, Kego.
Yeah.
It's time for 5th gear.
Yes.
And I don't think New Zealand would have been able to keep up with 5th gear.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like we left the gear we had there.
Yeah.
If you take the Ireland game and you take that game, you can see that there's a gear missing here with this guy.
A lot of naysayers are saying that the referees and the TMOs were involved too much and they had a poor game and they favored South Africa. You know, all these excuses to take credit away from the truth.
How can it be a poor game when there's a 1 point difference?
Exactly. You
it's
know,
a 1 point difference.
And for me, for example, Aaron Smith's disallowed try, guys.
Yeah.
TMO spotted the knock-on.
The knock-on. I also spotted it, Moose.
Yeah, and it's simple, lads. It's not up for debate. You know,
I spotted that. I even said that.
Yeah,
it's a knock-on.
We're complaining about the rest performance and that it was a disgrace. You know, and for me, it's a case of look. referees are not machines, right?
We're not going to talk from a perspective where we've won the game.
Yes.
As as South Africans, the difference between us and other people is that we know the game and the laws as well. So if it's a knock-on, we can tell you that pass, if they've taken the angle from up top,
Yes.
that New Zealand try,
Yeah.
still the ball went forward.
Indeed.
You understand what I'm saying? So we know the game. We can call the game. We know the game. We're not like when we fight with referees, we're fighting them over nothing. It's like Rice when he was suspended.
Yes.
He pulled up like 28 mistakes the ref had made that night. I mean, what do you expect us to do? We know the laws of the game. Yeah.
But also, right, in your opinion, did the referee have an influence in us winning?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm not being biased. Remember, I watched the URC religiously.
Yes.
So I watched European Cup religiously the past 2 years more. So I know how those guys officiate. And for me...
We're just better prepared to adapt to how...
To the officiating. But even that, I watched Super Rugby as well. And I'm like, watching Super Rugby game, Crusaders playing, and this guy does a shoulder charge this guy's face. I'm like, that's a red card. But the guy just gives him a yellow card. So these are the things which differentiate us from the people. So if you're not a rugby watching person, meaning that you don't even know how the URC has been going on for the past 2 years, how it started for the first 2 years, how the Sharks have played in the European Cup or the Bulls or whatever. You just catch it at semi-final level. We cannot have an argument about how the officiating went. Because when you don't even understand how they officiate in the first place.
But also, I think it's just a very lazy argument more often than not, right? To always point fingers at the ref.
Yeah.
And look, Wayne Barnes had his mistakes, but from a referee perspective, the overall performance for me was very good,
Very good. That's a 9 out of 10 performance. And at the end of the day, it should never be perfect.
True.
But at least you'll be approaching a level of decency.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just put it like that.
Can I tell you a funny thing I experienced, right? At halftime, people were singing Shosholoza.
Yeah, because we could see him.
Listen, but for me, I'm like, look, I respect New Zealand rugby and they never give up attitude. And we've been on the receiving end of unfortunate results against them. So I was like, singing Shosholoza at halftime, guys.
But we could all see it, though. At that level,
it was coming, but you don't want to be arrogant.
No, I was never arrogant, but I knew that. Because now what I saw is that if these guys were messing up so much at halftime, there would be many FUs going on in the changing room.
Yeah.
There was no need at that stage. They had the game under control. And even the bomb squad, when they came in, they didn't lift anything. They just maintained. They just maintained. But if they were instructed to lift, you would have seen that, okay, now the bomb squad is lifting the performance.
True.
Like they did against England.
Yeah.
Which would be like a steady incline of them lifting the performance up until they get the victory. There was no need for that because New Zealand was not playing at their normal... They were not the All Blacks. They were tired.
Yes. But also something I mentioned before the final, I was like, out of all the previous generation of New Zealand teams, right? This year's team is not the team to fear.
No, it's not.
They're not those guys.
Actually going forward.
Yeah. But also, but I think being scored historically by New Zealand,
we know what level they play
they can achieve, right? And for me, I was like, out of all the teams, these are not the guys that we're going to lose to.
No.
But also, I really need to give a shout out just to the Springboks and the entire organization in terms of what mentality monsters they are.
Yeah, no.
Picking yourselves up, and going to the trenches 3 weeks in a row. Man, I was telling you earlier that emotionally I am exhausted and I am done. I'm so happy the World Cup is over because emotionally I could not take it anymore. Like, when you're so emotionally drained and you were not on the field, I can only imagine the guys were there on the field for every second.
So many weeks, bruh.
Of
winning by 1 point.
Exactly. So people are like, no, time moves fast. People who say time moves fast have never exercised, guys. When they tell you 1 more minute and you have given your all, that minute is the longest minute of your life. You look at that clock and it is not moving. Listen, those boys and the ladies and the team behind the scenes, y'all created mentality monsters and guys who are super, super professional on top of their game. Like
it's a pity tomorrow. I've got an engagement for tomorrow. I would have gone to
the airport
Tambo tomorrow, but anyone guys
5 to 11 they landing, guys.
So
Tuesday 31 October.
So I've got an engagement, but I would have been there with Price.
We'll see them on Thursday when they do the Joburg tour.
Yeah, when we do the bus thing.
Yeah. So
hopefully
to our followers, our followers, likers, and subscribers, make sure you step out and hit the streets to show love to the boys. You know what? This doesn't happen every day.
Yep.
So please make sure. Please make sure.
4 years. So we've got 4 more years. Day 1, there's a guy on Twitter, Jared Wright, he always puts the days. So day 1,451 is World Cup champions. Just went to day 1,452 on Saturday.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've got another 1,400 days to be still world champions, guys.
Exactly. And they can never take that away from us.
No one can take it away, guys. We're 4-time world champions.
Back to back.
4 bands on the sleeve next time.
Yeah.
But guys, on that note, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a comment. How was your World Cup, guys? What did you guys do? Guys from New Zealand, give us your perspective on the World Cup and what your perception is of us. We predicted to not go past the quarterfinals by the New Zealand pundits.
Which can't?
The breakdown.
Okay.
Jefferson,
they were wrong
They were very wrong. I was pissed off that day. Hey, Jefferson, you pissed off South Africans and they won the World Cup. But then that note, guys, say bye to people, man.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Tell everyone to tell a friend. It's the Weekend Guy podcast.
Crew, we were here.
Yay.
We saw, we conquered, we attended, we saw, we conquered. We were world champions 4 times.
Back to back.
Peace.
To book.